Hi, and welcome to another Type with me. In this week's episode, I want to talk about mapped types within Typescript. So what's the definition of a mapped type? Well, mapped types build on the syntax for index signatures. If you don't know what index signatures are, I made a video out of it, so go and take a look at that. Which are used to declare the types of properties which have not been declared ahead of time. So which are used to declare the types of properties which have not been declared ahead of time. Don't worry if you don't understand within. So we have here two types. One is a configuration type, which has the properties color, indexed, and mode, right? And then you have the config permissions, which have color change, index change, and mode change. They are all booleans. And if you provided something into the configuration, well, you will have a boolean property out of that, right? So imagine if we want to add something like this, a title. Well, you need to add it to this type as well. Title change with a boolean. So if you forgot to add it to the config permission, well, your code is not in sync, right? So we can change that with mapped types. So we created a mapped type, advanced config permissions, and then you see here that we have properties in key of configuration, and it needs to have a boolean, right? So every property in key of configuration will have a boolean, and then you see here that advanced config permissions has color boolean, index boolean, mode boolean, title boolean, but that's not what we want. We want to have color change, index change, mode change, and title change, right? And so with mapped types we can use conditional types and also string literals, and for this one we need to use string literals, right? So with mapped types we can very easily use string literals, and we can do it like that with the S keyword, but you will see that you need to use the latest Typescript version for that. So in this case it's 4.7.4. I already installed it with npm. So with that we have here color changed, index change, mode change, and title change, right? So if we don't want to have mode in there, well, we can do it very easily with the following step. We can use exclude, right? And then here we will have color, index, and title. But maybe we want to combine this one with the previous one, right? So how could we then very easily remove mode? Well, we can do that with omit. Omit is also a very cool type. Construct a type with the property of t, except for those in type K. So we want to remove mode. So here we have it. We have color change, index change, and title change, right? So also for a complex combination of the string literal combined with the exclude, for example, we could use that very easily by just using in the omit type, right? So again, this is advanced Typescript. It's very cool to use it, to play around with it, and to construct these kind of cool things with it, in my opinion. Instead of omit, we can use pick, for example. And then here you see here that we only use mode, right? If we then want to add something else, we can very easily do that with this. And then I say I want to have title as well. And then you will see here that we have mode change and title change, right? So again, you can very easily play around with it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. In my opinion, this is a very cool feature, mapped types within Typescript. And see you next time. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting my channel.